So I'm Bryce, as everyone knows, and I get mad about arbitrary things. Today, my presentation is about why open world video games can't actually be open world, just because the first point I have is they're actually programmed devices, so they can only expand as far as the programming lets them. So to be truly open world, video games would have to actually take place in the real world and be infinite. Whereas in video games, you only have so many choices. Like video games like Skyrim or Grand Theft Auto claim to be open world video games, and to an extent they're right. They have very bustling worlds with like lots to do, but at the end of the day, it's only a finite amount. No matter how expansive your video game is, there's still only a finite amount of things to do. The biggest offender of this is dialogue options, like games that give you the choice of how to affect the story based on what you say, despite only giving you 2 to 3 options of what to choose, and regardless of what you choose, they probably still only lead to good ending, bad ending of sorts. The biggest thing I had is clothing. They claim to be open world, but there's only so many options for dressing your character, if there are any at all. You can't just put whatever you want on your character. You can only mix and match the certain options that you've been given. Despite everything, the quests, the characters, and the storylines are, no matter how many times you play the game and how many options you choose, they're still the same ones. Like the quests may all be different and you can handle them in different ways, but at the end of the day, they're still the same quest with the same goal and the same options. One of the biggest reminders of the fact that it's a very finite game is the clear difference between main storyline and side quests. There's usually little to no correlation between the two, considering that one is just an offshoot of, because side quests are optional, and unfortunately, the programmer has to prepare for the fact that players might not even do the side quest. The main storyline has to avoid interacting with side quests, meaning that there's a very big disjunction between just things you can do in the world and then like actually advancing the plot of the game. Sorry, I'm trying to read my chicken scratch. One of the things I had written down was Dungeons and Dragons, which, if you don't know, even though we've talked about it several times at this point, it's a video game, or it's a board game, but it's not restricted to the board. It's built out of the fact that it's players' imaginations and it's them going through, and it is, in the very realist sense, an open world game because it's not restricted to the programming of a game. Dungeons and Dragons is built upon like what the players say and what the players do. It's very much reacting to what the actors' choices are, and there's infinite possibilities because you can realistically do anything within the game. And the last thing I just simply had that at the end of the day, because it's a video game and because it's a programmed thing, it just can't be open world like they claim to be. And that was my speech.